So today we're going to try to figure out this two-sum problem in LeetCode, which is an easy level. So let's read through it quickly. Given an array of integers num and integers target, return indices of the two numbers such that they adds up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. And they give an example, blah blah. Okay, so normally when I would start, I would copy the inner function of the code, and then I'll go to my VS Code. Here I create a Python file, and then I'll paste its code inside. Then I remove this self parameters because I don't need it in this case because I'm running in VS Code. And then I would just print this function. Another thing I'll grab from LeetCode is the test case. I'm just gonna grab the first case here, and remember the target is 9. Then we paste the array here and the target here. Okay, so let's do this a beginner way because yeah, I'm starting doing LeetCode, and probably you guys watching this video is starting doing LeetCode as well. So let's get through this together. So from the problem here, we could start with a simple math. So the questions was asking that they give us the target, which is in this case number 9, and we just have to find two numbers from this array that adds up to number 9. So by looking by eye, we can tell right away that 2 plus 7 equals to 9. 7, 8, 9, right? So we can start with a simple math like target is 2 plus 7. In this case, I would substitute 2 with x and 7 with y. So target was given. Actually, x and y are also given, but because we have to write a program to get x from this array and also get the y from this array. So how can we do that? So now let's say, okay, let's wrap up what we have in hand. So what we have in hand here, we have the target from the parameters. We also have x and y from our array. The target we have no problem, it's from the parameters. But the problems here is from x and y. So to get the value of the array, we can use a loop. And let's try using only one loop and see what happens. For I in range of len num, here is our array. You can see here it's our parameters, the first parameters. And then I'm just going to do a simple print, and let's make it readable by using the Python template I and the value. It says num is not defined. What is that supposed to mean? You can see here I'm already making mistakes. Okay, so I just delete those. Okay, bear with me. I'm new here. Alright, so value equals, I would say, num, forgot the S, and I. So because I already have the print statement here, I do not need to have another print statement. It's going to be redundant. Then I'm just going to run my code. I can see here that, okay, now I got the index here, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, which is equally the same as our parameters here. And then I got the value. Good. But I need two values. So that's where the inner loops comes in. So the outer loops, because we could say that the outer loops would be Rx. Let me write it down. Outer loops is our X, and the inner loops is our Y. Let's try it. But before that, because we already starting with index 0, which the value is 2. We do not want to start at the same position because we need a different number. So what I will do is I will give my I, which is another pointer, one value greater than my I, which is the first pointer. So the second pointer will have one more one more value than my first one. Okay, I'm bad at explaining, but bear with me. You understand what I'm trying to do here. Then just do, so here I'm just writing the same thing as my outer loops. So for j in range, in Python, we can indicate the starting point and the ending point here. So if I don't put anything before the length here, so I forgot to tell you guys that this lane of num is equals to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So remember, this lane is equal to 4. Like this. It will be something like this. So it starts from index 0 and it iterates until 4. But because our inner loop, we don't want to start with 0. We want to start from 1. So what I will do is I will say I, which is right now equals to 0 plus 1. So in this case, my I will always be greater, my J will always be greater than I. And then I'm just going to print J and see if I'm able to get the result I want. Run. Okay, looks good. Alright, here, 0. My I is 0, value is 2. My J is 1, value is 7. Good. And my I is 2 here, and then my J is 11. Okay, good. Now, my I is 0. My I is 0, value is 2. My J at position 3, my value is 15. Okay. And then you can see that it's after the 2 reaches the last index with it, which is J equals 3 here, 15. Now our I move on to the second position, which is position 1, and the value is 7. And when we look back into the array here, we can see that this 7 is the position 1. And then it loops through it the same way, same process of the first one. 7 to I7, J11, I7, J15. And then the last one is this one, which is I equals to 2, which is value 11, and the J is 15, which is reached the end of the loop. Okay, good. We got all of it. Now we only have to check if the target is equals to our numbers adds up together. So we're just going to use a simple if and else to do that. So, I'm just going to keep this right here just for now. I'm going to delete it later. So we can start our if check. Like I said earlier, if the target, which is equals to our x here, is, we do not need the index to check here, but we need the values, right? So how to get the values? Just access the positions in the array by using the array name here, parameters num at index I, and then plus with the same array at index j, which is one more value greater, one more positions ahead of I. And the statement, and then we can return. And here we do not want to return the value, but the question asks us here to return an index. Here you can see we return index of that number that give us the result. So we already have it here, return I and j. And for now, just for testing, I will comment the print statement, and instead I will wrap this two sum in the print statement. So I just comment this out. The above print here is just for our testing purpose. And then I put the print, wrap it around the two sum to see the result. So I'm just going to click run now. And you can see, yeah, we get the right result. Okay, good. But let's check for other possibility as well, because they give us 3 cases to check. And I have to change the target to 6. Okay, correct. Same result, 1 and 2. And then the last case number 3, supposed to return 0 and 1. If it does return 0 and 1, okay, we're good. Now, because I already done this to sum in advance before I made this video, there are cases that will start with 0 and the target would be 0. In this case, let's see if this code will run correctly, because as you can see here, 0 plus 0, So it's supposed to return index 0 and index 3. Let's see if it does. Oh, nice. Okay, it does. Well, I'm just gonna, if it actually runs, I'm just gonna try to test it in the LeetCode. Did it in the LeetCode, and then let's try to run it. You can see we always make mistakes. That's totally fine. Just read the indentation error and then we correct it. Okay, we passed all the tests, and as you see here, the test case number 4, 0, 4, 3, and 0. Yeah, and that's how we simply solve the two-sum problem. Oh, before I end it, let's submit and see how well we did. No need to surprise, it's not going to be the fastest algorithm, but it's acceptable for a beginner or someone who just started LeetCode. Just remember that practice made perfect and keep trying. Best of luck, everyone. See you in the next video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll try my best to answer it. And hope this video has helped you to learn maybe a little bit. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.